just it seems odd, in conjunction with the gentleman who was talking about the why the city isn't or doesn't seem to want to promote the foreclosure auction, but they think they're going to get the money at the RFP. So the CHAP designation process went forward without the owners putting in not only an application, but he actually opposed it outright. If they can impose that sort of restriction on the building, why do it now? Why not wait until a new owner is identified, and then if the owner has ideas about gutting the place, then they could do it then. I just don't understand why it always seemed, and it always seemed to happen when the theater was announced that it was in trouble, and that maybe a foreclosure auction was imminent. It just always seemed to happen at those periods of time.
I personally had serious issues and some very serious and other people's face discussions about the whole CHAP designation. I felt, as yourself, we felt it was ill-timed, unnecessary, and really, quite frankly, I felt it was undermining the good things we were all trying to do. And I actually was totally thinking, Catherine, that when they delayed the hearing that it was because of that, and then I found out it was because of the guideline things.
I'd like to second that. Jim and I don't always agree on all issues, but we agree on this one. It's water over the dam, or whatever the expression is. But let me just clarify. We wouldn't be here today talking about it. We'd be talking about an exciting new future for the Senator Theater. Had that CHAP action not been raised after we reported in, and we were having some serious discussions with people that believed that you would have loved as the new owner of this theater. But they felt that that was a sort of a rogue element of the city, or whatever it was Commissioner Henry that was really pushing this thing forward. But for whatever reason, it was inappropriate to start coming in with those controls when I owned the building and I had not requested them. And it absolutely scuttled some very good negotiations that would have been a glorious future for the Senator Theater. I'm trying to bring that person back to the table. He may show up at the auction. There are actually two. Within 24 hours of the announcement of that CHAP action that was slapped up outside here, both sets of negotiations were canceled. And both of the people I tried to talk to them and said, it's not that unreasonable. You can work with these folks. He said, no, it's a signal, Tom. It's a signal that the city has some other intentions rather than to let you sell this theater to a private person. And that's the problem I have with the CHAP. And whether it's an intentional signal or whether it's an unintentional signal, that doesn't matter. The actual result of it was that it undermined it. And as Mr. Harris said, if the city, through CHAP, has shown that it has the power to come in over the owner's objections and put restricted, unprecedented for the state of Maryland, by the way, interior controls on a historic building, then wait to see who the new owner is. If you don't like what they're doing, come in and slap those controls all over them, and believe me, I'll be the first person to lead the charge. All right.
You already ready to have questions?
Yeah. I'll take it. That brings me to my comment, which is, my name is Kathleen Harris. I've been volunteering here with my family for the past 7 weekends. And volunteers have been talking, and we do know some things. We may not know the whole story because we don't feel like there's a whole lot of transparency. But there does seem that there's been decisions made and a rush to judgment to get rid of the family who built the Senator and ran it for 70 years. And there seems to be somewhere a personal grudge against the owner of the Senator Theater, as evidenced by your comments in the Daily Record.
What kind of time frame are you talking about?
You kind of went through a lot of information, but you're talking about the time frame after the auction and between the time that the RFP is issued.
Right.
Okay.
She had the assumption that the city go on, and then it would go a different route of prior ain't gonna put this meeting spot like, you know,
Right.
basic.
Our goal, the ultimate goal is for the theater to not be dark at all. That's the ultimate goal. Realizing that there will be some time needed for, some improvements and that sort of thing. But we are in discussions now to try to figure out a way that the theater can continue to be open and operating in some fashion while we're going through the RFP process, if we get to that point, if we don't get a buyer at the foreclosure. That's the goal.
Thank you very much.
Young lady back here, and we're going to get to Marie, but she's going before. Young lady in the aqua right here.
I want to back up regarding the auction. When a house is for sale, there's a lot of promotion for the house to be sold. Is the city engaging anyone to try to promote and market, any marketing going on relative to the senator in a national fashion that might actually bring in those dollars that would...
That again is part of our plan. Larry and I are in discussions with some folks. We're talking to, Larry's a new bankruptcy. He's a, assistant city solicitor, I don't know exact titles. So we've been working with a foreclosure attorney to find out the best way to do that, to get it promoted nationally and get that interest out there, especially to folks in the biz, so to speak.
What is the date that this is supposed to take place, the auction?
That's your question.
We don't have that yet. We have to file to get a date.
What's your projected date?
I have no idea.
Is it 30 days, 45 days, 60 days? Would that be the maximum time frame in terms of the auction based on when you want to let the guidelines for RFP about 60? Oh, no.
For the RFP?
Yeah, I'm saying, based on the gentleman's question, he had asked if in fact you don't get the amount of dollars
Right.
as the tax
The RFP.
and then when would you move to the next stage in terms of what the timeline would be in issuing the RFP for the proposals to purchase the senator's site?
We would look to be drafting the RFP during that time frame from the date we file for a foreclosure date to the actual date, which is anticipated to be a couple of months. So we would be drafting the RFP so that we would be sitting on go if no one bids at the auction. So it's really a twofold answer. One is the advertising for the auction itself will be done on a widespread basis, and then if we don't get that buyer at the auction, the RFP will be issued on a broad basis as well.
I mean, we have dealt with the CHAP restrictions. I think most of us in the audience agree that the timing is definitely an issue, and it's also a barrier to, I perceive it as being a barrier to get the dollars that we need for the sale of the property. Okay. Young lady right here.
When I heard about the computer historical definition, what the impediment was possibly getting fired.
Right.
I got the CHAP website, and I noticed that one of these members is also in the owner of the Charles Theater. And I wondered if that wasn't conflict of interest.
That person refused
That person, I presented what had been approved by the Board of Estimate, what was going to be approved by the Board of Estimate to the CHAP commissioners, and when I was in there, that person was not in the meeting room themselves. When I walked out, I saw him and I said, "Good job recusing yourself," and he said, "Absolutely." So.
Another commissioner, Bob Embry, abstained after reportedly being the prime mover behind this, but due to a conflict of interest that was raised during the meeting, he abstained from the final vote on CHAP.
But he was in the meeting.
He was in the meeting.
And he took part of it, and he also did so in 2007 when the same issues were there.
Yeah.